Hello, so I received a message on YouTube by paranormal researcher who wanted me to try and do these two tags. One of them was about aliens and alien abductions, but I don't really have any experience in that area, so I'm going to be passing on that one. And the other one was about dark spirits, and I really wanted to try and do this tag as I do have some experiences with dark spirits, and I always love to hear people's experiences and stories about spirits in general, especially dark spirits. And I feel like we should talk more about dark spirits. In my experience, dark spirits don't always want to be negative towards you. But question one is, do you have any experience with dark spirits? Like I just said, I do. My first encounter with a spirit or a dark spirit was around 18. I could go ahead and say I had an earlier experience with one of my spirit guides, Mr. Happy, but I don't really want to include him in this because even though he may be darker than the others, he has never tried to torment me or cause me any harm or anything like that. He's just tried to get my attention to realise that he is one of my spirit guides. Whereas these other dark spirits that I've encountered before have been very menacing and trying to cause harm or things like that. So my first official encounter was when I was around 18. It was when I was still living at my parents' house, and I started to feel the presence of two little girls, and I wanted to learn more about them, so I started to communicate more with them and connect with them. And I found out that they were murdered and that someone took the blame for their murder, but he was also innocent. He was just travelling through the village, and because he was an outsider and he wasn't part of the community, people blamed him and he was punished for it. And as I started to communicate and connect with the girls a lot more, I started to have this feeling that the person was someone higher up in the community, someone people trusted and looked up to. And I was getting the feeling that the murder happened in the field where we would normally walk our dog. So I would go there often to try and pick up on any energies. And I started to feel this presence nearby, and I started to feel like I was being dragged along the ground. And I started to feel as if I was being warned not to go any further, to drop this and let it go and forget about it. But I didn't want to forget. I wanted to try and help these girls. So I continued on with it. And from the images I got from them, it was someone wearing a dog collar. And for me, automatically, I assumed the vicar. And after I was thinking that and was certain that it was a vicar, this presence came by, and it was very strong, it was very forceful. It was the same presence I had that were warning me to stop looking any further. He came in very strong, and I could feel him breathing down my neck. I was terrified, as it was my first time experiencing anything this strong and this angry. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to blink or breathe or speak or anything. It was horrible, really. The feeling I got, I just hated it, and I hated him for how he's making me feel and what he did to those girls. And I started to ask for my guides to come in and help, and they managed to pull him away and take him away. And as I said in another tag video, that my partner has been possessed or channeled a spirit without his permission, that was darker in nature. So we have encountered dark spirits, and with my partner being a medium, we do experience all different types of spirits, and that includes the dark type. But question 2 is, have you ever noticed any unexplained scratches or claw marks or been attacked by a ghost? And 3, if so, where did you find the marks? I've been pretty lucky and never had any physical attack. I've never noticed any marks on my body that I can't explain. I haven't felt any physical marks on me. The only type attacks I have had are emotional and mental, where I would have images coming into my head of my own murder, my body being tortured, the actual killing going on, my body being in positions that are too gruesome and nasty and disgusting. It's just not that nice to talk about, really, but I have had those sort of attacks going on, but non-physical attacks. And normally I can tell when an attack is going to happen, because I normally sense the atmosphere change. So if the atmosphere changes into something very aggressive, then I'm going to be trying to protect myself more than the atmosphere being more calm and gentle. But a friend of ours last year noticed a mark on her body that was very unusual, and she doesn't know how it got there, but we don't know if she fell down a few days before. But where the mark was didn't seem right to how she fell down. The mark was only a thumbprint size, and it was on the inside of her upper thigh, so her legs would have had to be spread apart. So she doesn't know if it was a spirit attack or if it was just because she fell down. So we're not 100% sure on that. Number 4, have you ever had any bad dreams or visions that you were the subject of a ritual or being surrounded by dark figures? If so, what was the dream or dreams about? What were the figures trying to do to you? Again, I think I've been lucky on that side and haven't really had any dreams or visions of that sort. I have had dreams with Mr. Happy, and those dreams can turn a bit dark and negative because of his own presence, but he doesn't always mean to bring that along. He does creep the hell out of me, and I can sometimes feel a little bit uneasy with him because of his eyes. His eyes are very piercing, and they just creep the hell out of me, and they're just very wide open and they don't blink and all that, and it's just really horrible. But other than that, I don't think I've had any bad dreams or visions of that sort. Going back to our friend, on that night she got the mark, or the mark appeared. She was having a dream, and she said she was having a dream about a ritual going on, and she was being forced to have sex and things like that were happening. And her other friend who she was staying at said she could see her body clenching up, her hands turning into a fist, grabbing a hold of the mattress, and she could hear her mumbling on and all that. And so she's had those experiences, but I've been kind of lucky, I guess, with that area. Number 5, other than feeling sick or nauseous, have you experienced any strange feelings in the tummy during any of the encounters? If so, what part of the belly, and what did it feel like? I think I'm just going to go ahead and say number 6 as well. Did you notice any particular health problems at any time during these encounters? If so, what were they? I wanted to try and answer these two together because I don't know if the answers will be different to one another. And I also wanted to try and say how me and my partner work with spirit. I don't know if other people work with spirits this way, but for us, we normally try to figure out the spirit first. We try to work out their personality, their character, their behaviour, everything to do with them we want to work out so we can make it easier for us to help them if we know more about them and have references for them. So if they have a tick or a twitch somewhere, we will get that. If they have a limp, we will start limping. We channel them to try and get their personality and their character. So when it comes to their health problems, that is what we will pick up on. If they have arthritis, or a bad back, we will pick up on that. If they were a heavy smoker, we will get the heavy chest, and we will start smelling smoke around us, and we'll also get that feeling in our mouth. If they had really bad eyesight or bad headaches, we will also get that. For me, it can be a little bit difficult at the moment as I'm still trying to learn what is spirit and what is myself, because I have so many health problems. I don't know, excuse me, I don't know if it's them coming through or if it's my own problems, if that makes sense. Whereas my partner, even though he has health problems himself, he's been doing this much longer, so he's had more experience to learn and figure out whose problems are whose. So I'm still learning on that department, and that's how we work. We try to channel them. So if they do have a health problem, we will be channeling that. But getting health problems because of them doing something to us, I've never experienced before. And with the feelings that we get, we normally, it's kind of normal if we follow our gut instincts, gut feeling anyways, trying to say an easier word. So if I'm feeling worried, I will always try and listen to what my gut is telling me. If my gut is feeling like it tied in knots, then I know I should be concerned about that. If my gut is just relaxed, then I know I can be more at ease with them. I don't know if that is making any sense, but I've been trying to do this video, and when it comes to this part, I can never really find an answer for these questions. But that is how we work with spirit. We try to channel them. We try to work as best as we can with them and figure out what they were like in physical form instead of just seeing them as spirit. So yeah, that was all the questions, and I don't know if that made any sense or if that was useful or what, but I did try my best to answer them. Yeah. Bye.